Hello everyone, today on TNJ Adventure I will show you how to mount some rear parking sensors on this Fiat Tipo. It's a 2019 version. I believe it's a 1.4 engine, 95 horsepower, and I've never attempted this. I haven't found anything on the internet, so I'm pretty much going to figure it out. So in order to take out the rear fascia, you will see that there are a few screws underneath the car. See one right here, right there. A few of them are around here, and of course the same on this side. Some of them are Phillips screws, like these ones. Some of them are Torx screws, like this one. And I believe there's also some screws in the wheel well. Again, Phillips screws here, and Torx screw right here. So after you take all the screws out, you see 3 screws on here, 3 screws here, 3 screws in the back, and on the other side again the same. You have to pop out the bumper. You just pull on it, and it has these tabs that come out. So it's better to do this on a warm day so that everything is valuable. On each side of the car in the wheel well there are 2 Phillips screws right here, and 1 Torx screw up here. One of these 90 angle sockets. You just have to get in there and turn the screws. Going underneath the light, you'll see that somewhere in here, actually I see it's not visible, so you have to pop out the bumper. So carefully just pry on it. It should come out. Now there's more room underneath here. I have to lift the middle of the snap. Then that's how it comes out. It's all just clips all around, actually hooks I mean, and 2 clips and the screws behind the wheel well and underneath. So this plastic has these clips in here. You have to push a little bit towards the car and upwards, and you will see that the whole plastic comes off pretty easily, I would say. And then you have to pull on everything that's in the back. So the owner of the car has this plastic cover, and this is the original cover. To take this off, so I'll use my clips tool, and these just come out. And the plastic comes off. So I decided to take off and out of the car everything that's in the trunk, so that I have more access. You will see that there are some clips in here. You just have to pull upwards on these, and you will see that they snap into some screws. See those down there? And then this whole thing comes out. So I have to check now where the signal for the rear light goes. I'll put it in reverse. You have to pull on this lever, and then okay, so it's got reverse lights on both sides, so it doesn't really matter on which side we are working. We have to put the parking sensors signal on one of the lights. So I already have this side open, and I don't see the need to access the other side too. So in order to take off the connector, you have to pry in here. Okay, so you push on this tab and then release it. The reverse is still working on this side, not on this side anymore, because I took the connection off. So I will just try and see. I've got 12 volts somewhere. So that's put it on 20 continuous, and then put the ground to the ground. You will see that there's a main connector here for the ground, so I'll just plug my probe in here. Hopefully there's a good connection, and then you just have to go inside the connector and see which one is the 12 volt. Okay, so the gray and the green wire has a 12 volt signal. Nothing on this one. Interestingly, we have 4 volts on this one, the green and red. Again, 4 volts on this one. There should be nothing here, but I believe this is the main one. So yeah, we've got 12 volts on the gray and green. So that's the reversing light that I will have to tap in. So one more thing we have to do is to make sure that you'll see these instructions, that we have to place the sensors at 0.5 to 0.8 meters. That means 50 to 80 centimeters, and you will see that 50 is pretty much at that line. So anywhere above that line, it's okay to put the sensors in. So looking at those, I know that they have to be also at 90 degrees. So I would say that the best way to put them at 90 degrees is to put them somewhere at around 60 centimeters. Seems like this whole area is straight, so I can go just in the middle of this area. So between these two lines, go in the middle, and then one more here somewhere closer to the corner. And if you take the bumper off, get inside the car like this. Right here, it's a rubber grommet that corresponds to here. So this is gonna be a pretty good place to come out with the wires, just through this grommet and here to the connector. You can come with the wires from the bumper, from the sensors through here, maybe underneath this somehow, and through this grommet. So now we have to go and cut the bumper. Okay, so you can see that I marked the middle of the bumper. You can see there's one screw here on the middle, and if you go down here, there's a clip. Not sure if it's visible, but you can believe me, there's a clip on the middle. So I marked the middle of the bumper, and now if you look on this, so it says 0.5 to 0.8 meters, 15 to 80 centimeters, 90 degrees orientation, and between the sensor it's got to be 0.3 or 0.4, so between 30 and 40 centimeters. So I have my tape measure here. You can see 30 and 40. I would say that. So if we go 40 between, we have to go at 20 here on the middle. So let's start with that. Just gonna make a small line. So just like that. That's 40, and then another 40 between that corner. It's here. And then coming on this other side, and 40 is right here. So right here. And then from here I can go another 40, something like that. It's gonna be here. And of course I'm gonna measure, make sure that they're straight, and of course I have to now position it on the other axis. Right here I have 14 between the upper line and the lower line. So going in the middle would be 7, which would be around here. Not really visible. Here it's still 14, so 7 would be again here at the top of the mark. Here 7, same at the top of this mark. And here it gets a bit more complicated because I don't have the same line as here, but measuring I can just go 7 from underneath. So it's 14, 7 would be here, but I will see if I'll leave it at 7. or if I'll go a bit higher. So I can go maybe in the middle of this portion here, so a bit higher. Let me measure it. So it's 17, well, kind of 17 and a half. Yeah, a bit lower at 9 should be good. So we'll do the same mark here. 9 is on top. So now we just have to drill the bumper, which is a bit scary because I don't want to ruin the bumper, but that's what we have to do. This is the system that I got. It's a pretty universal system, but I got the OEM looking sensors. So you'll see when you open the package that you have these instructions. They tell you, you know, all the parameters of the system, how to connect them. If you have a camera, that's in addition. Then installation guideline, you know, the distance between the sensors, distance from the ground, and orientation. And also how to mount if you have a monitor, if you have a camera, if you have just the sensors. So that's that. These are the sensor brackets. You will see that there's 4 of these in here. This one goes with this face on the back of the cover, so the bumper. And these are the sensors. You will see that it comes with 3M tape that you can see the shape. Each of these goes on this surface, so well, like that, and on this side, and then it glues on the back of the cover or the bumper or the fascia, whatever you want to call it, and then the sensors just snap in. They go in like that, and this should be how thick the bumper is. And then you have the OEM look, because if you know how the other sensors look like, they come from the outside, so you put the hole in the cover and then insert the sensor from outside. But here the sensor comes from the back, so you have just a small hole in the bumper and the sensor coming out of it. So these are the 4 sensors. I'm gonna take them out right now. This is the monitor. It has also speaker in here, and you will see that these lights light up when you get closer to an object, and I think it also shows you the distance in the middle. Then again, some 3M tape for this. It goes underneath and you glue it wherever you want. Then you've got this is the main computer of the system. You've got power here, this one goes in there. 2 wires, one goes to ground, one goes to reverse light. Other than that, you get one of these cutting devices. You will see that the sensor is about that big. Oh, and again, some tape, double-sided tape for the computer. So that's all that the system has. I brought the bumper inside and I measured exactly where I want to put the sensors. You can see it's about 39, I think, between each line. So because it says it's gotta be between 30 and 40 centimeters, I decided to go a little bit underneath 40, but I would say it's a good positioning. And looking at these, if I place the bumper on the ground, you will see that they align pretty nicely. So let me see where the line is. It's here. So it's here somewhere. You will see that it's a really nice surface to glue on. It's straight. I thought it will be very curvy. You can see here it's curvy, but here looks to be straight. And of course here's Eva and Dove. my assistants. Here I have the drill. I'm probably going to have to switch to a faster version, and hopefully I'm not gonna mess the bumper up. I drilled the holes and I figured out that actually this unscrews so that it's easier to clear the plastic that you just cut out. As you can see, I put some more tape where I had to cut, because usually if you put tape, the cut is cleaner. This is how the bumper looks with the holes drilled. This is how the holes came out. You see, I cleaned already the bumper. And I already glued double-sided tape onto this. And if I snap it in, you will see that it fits nicely. So this is how the sensors look like mounted. So they're already glued, and I put some zip ties that I'm gonna trim so that the wires are neatly tucked in. And right now I have everything put together so that I can test the whole setup. You can see that I put the wires, so ground right here, and right here I have the signal connection. And this is how the sensors look like mounted. You can barely see them. That's kind of the point. Annoying look. So you can see the system is working. It's armed right now. I'll put it in reverse. No errors. Well, it's not turned on, but before I got errors for the rear light system. So it's in reverse. You can see. So the reverse lights are on both sides. And you will see that whenever I put my hand over a sensor, it's gonna beep. So everything works properly. Now I just have to put everything back together. Okay, so everything is done. The sensors look like they're OEM, so like they came from the factory, like that. And you will see that everything is put back together. Maybe I showed you. So this is where the sound is gonna be. Our friend who owns this car said that she doesn't need to have that monitor, so I just glued it right there with double-sided tape, so in such a way that she can hear but she doesn't need to see. The wire goes like that, somewhere around there, and comes down here, where you can see that it's still, there's a small bulge, because that's how big the system is. So there's some foam in here that I had to cut. Yeah, the wires go out there through that rubber grommet, and they come out here somewhere. You will see everything is put together, all the bolts and screws, and the sensors look really good. I'm gonna show you. So whenever you put it in reverse, you'll hear a small beep. You heard the beep. And now the system is armed. And that's how everything works. So this was a Fiat Tipo 2019.